Okay. I don't know how to say this, but I'm just gonna talk from my heart. And for I don't know if this gonna be for all people. And I don't know if this gonna be just for people like me. Now, I'm strictly from my heart. And so after I'm out here, done got where I can see a little bit now, and I see what other people can't see. I'm trying to fix it to show people how I got where I was, where I am. I'm sorry. You have to excuse me about the way I talk, because, I'm just that GED educated guy. I want to try to convey or try to talk about how I get where I am. What I did when they told me, when I started searching for God, they told me I'm going to have to seek Him. And when seeking Him, I didn't understand. Because I used to get up, and I used to get up in the morning, I used to think about Him and think about Him. And I did this for a while, and I thought that was seeking God. But after a while, I started, it's just that only thing, they started running water, and then it took my train of thought. And it seems like, to me, sometimes when I'm trying to do something, be honest with you, it seems like the devil be trying to stop it any way it can. It don't care who be around. It still try to come through the people. Which you can't blame the people, because the people have no idea that they being used by the devil. Okay, when I say the devil, I go to how they say a positive and a negative. I got the devil in the negative part, and I got God in the positive part. And so that's the way I see stuff now. Now, the whole thing, I was trying to tell you how I come about the way I am and the emotions that come within me to try to make confirmation about God. Okay, from the beginning, like I said, I was just thinking about Him and thinking about Him, and then nothing seemed to happen. Wasn't no change coming within me. And so after a while, I started trying to feel those emotions that religion, all the stories in religion, try to get you to feel. Okay, first thing I did, I thought about when they said Jesus died for us. Okay, I didn't stop right there when Jesus died for us. I tried to feel the feeling that Jesus had to feel. Jesus had to feel to give His life for us. Although God, his dad wanted Him to do, because that was God's only son. His dad wanted Him to do that. So this way I tried to feel that feeling, and I couldn't feel it. I said, oh, I can't feel it. Then I think about how everything else touches me. I see a beautiful girl, she'll touch me. I see a car I want, it'll touch me. I see a big boat I want, it'll touch me. I said, now why can't I feel this feeling that Jesus died on the cross for? Died on the cross so that I might live forever. That's when I seen that I was on the right track. Okay, after I couldn't feel that emotion, I started looking within me. And I started looking for the things that were so important to me. Okay, boy, I wanted a big house. Boy, I said, oh, that's a feeling touching. I wanted a new car. That's a feeling. I started eliminating the things that touch me. Because God said, turn loose the world. And then turn loose the world, all it is, an emotion that you be untouched you, that tie you to the world. Okay, and being tied to the world, being tied to the world is the biggest trick the devil ever played on us. But Jesus showed us that when the devil took him on the mountaintop, when he offered him the whole world. Those emotions that you take in, oh, I want the car, I want the house, I want that thing covers your heart. That's the biggest trick that the devil been trying to do to the world. Ever since the whole thing started, he tried to tie it to the world and make us lose our heart where God lives. Okay, now I know some people would say you have to be careful about dealing with emotions, and especially from the heart and stuff like that. I can understand that, because a lot of the things, when you begin to fear, the feelings come from the heart. When you fear, when the devil done covered you from the outside in, and a lot of times, and when the mind send them, when the eyes and then send them go to the mind, and then the mind send those thoughts, and them thoughts cover the rims of the heart, not the inner heart, the rims of the heart. And then you emotionally feel them, and then you tie religion to that. You know, this ain't right and that ain't right. But that ain't how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to understand that. That's the whole reason why the devil took Jesus up on the mountaintop, so he can offer him all this stuff to make him feel, and then hide his heart. But after I recognized that part of it, I was on the way. I saw anything that coming from the outside in that was touching me, I started eliminating. And this part kind of hard to talk about. My son committed suicide about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I felt that so hard. And boy, you talking about a strong feeling that comes from the heart. That thing touched me so hard, I didn't know whether I was coming or going. But this what that did for me. Then when I look back and saw how Jesus must have felt, then I looked at how God must have felt to give his son for us so we can live forever. And he wasn't like me. He could have did anything to stop it. But he gave his own son. And I took that feeling that I had and I put myself in God's position. And although I wasn't God, I just felt that feeling about how God must have felt. And that touched me like no other feeling ever did. And then I went on and kept on till I put it over on Jesus, and how he had to make a bad sacrifice so that we can live forever. When I began to touch those kind of feelings, that's when my seeking began. I loved it. And that's when I found out that ain't no feeling on the face of this earth like those kind of feelings. And ain't nothing on the face of the earth supposed to deny us how God made us in his own image. But to do like Jesus said, you don't want nothing of the world. That's when you have to go deep down in your heart. That's when you have to have charity. That's when you have to have hope, faith, love, all the feelings that come from the inside out. But we be denied that because the devil already be unhid our heart. And in these days, you can't hardly find nobody that got their heart anymore. I'm sorry, but I go outside, I can't see nobody. Either they want their fingernail done, or somebody want a new car, or the house ain't big enough, or their plane ain't big enough. It's always something what God said can't go to heaven with when we go. You have to turn loose everything, almost your life. I know it's hard. It's just as hard for me to sit up here and try to tell people this. Because we got so many different type religions. But whatever worked for one set of people don't mean it might work for the next set with their philosophy. But in my philosophy, all things, when it concerns good, work for God. I ain't talking about hurting people and say that's God. I ain't talking about, although I know Abraham did a lot of stuff. I ain't talking about, but Jesus is a whole different thing. That's the Old Testament. But okay, you slid me over I slid over into the Old Testament. But since I'm talking, let me tell you something else about emotions. I know I'm going to be a wavy over here and wavy over here and trying to get a lot of stuff out. But a lot of times this stuff comes to me in spurs and I can't hold it all. And when it shoot up in my head, I always try to shoot it to the people. When I'm talking about these emotion things, go back to the Old Testament. You had some prophets and you had some people didn't die. God already had prepared this thing even before Jesus came. God had showed us the break way, but when none of us take it. The only reason I'm so happy because I see about emotions, and I think the emotions, if you can shut out the world, I think it's easy. So easy a kid can go round up there to be like God wants us to be. Only reason I'm talking to you about those type of emotions is because some of those guys didn't die, and they loved it, God. They love. And what's love? Loving is an emotion. They loved it, God. That thing was set then. Okay? And then, here go us. We don't even get it then. Hey, love is the key. Love. It's the key. But we didn't get it that. Oh, I can't love them black-haired people. I don't love them white people kept me in slavery. I can't, them Muslim this. I can't. You cannot do it. You have to love everybody. That's the only way. And love really, truly, is the hardest emotion to feel. Oh, you can love your kids. You can love that. But that's totally different than a love that. I think it was Elijah. I know one of those prophets loved it, God. Take him right on. That was the doorway right there, and that was the way that all men supposed to know that love was the key. Okay? We didn't understand, and we didn't try to learn it then. Here go God again. Forgiving, and here go God again. I'm going to give you my only son. You know what's that? You know I love my son. I felt it when mine died, committed suicide. The feeling that, you know. And then, and so I'm going to let y'all give y'all another way. I mean, a true Christian. I ain't talking about somebody who sat there and scream and holler and quote this and quote that. I'm trying to feel those emotions. If you say it too fast, those are fed too fast, I can't hardly see it. I see how hard it is to find love. Especially a love somebody give you so that you might have eternity. Most of the time you can see, the $1 million jets and the $1 million homes and materialistic things. And just as sure as a man have a materialistic mind, he cannot go with God. God says it's just going to be just a few wanderers on that road. Just a few wanderers. Just a few. Ain't too many going to get this. Their awareness, they won't hold their awareness long enough to watch their emotions that coming from the outside in. Because no sooner their emotion, that awareness get there and that, they're coming there and that devil sitting right back there watching, he going to send the thought right to the mind. Send a thought right from the mind at the heart. And he watch us 24/24. And it's hard to hold your awareness so you can see it. That soul just be sitting down there innocent. You waiting on you to decide which way you're going to put it, right or left, right or left. This whole life, and just like an ocean, waves in an ocean, good and bad, And that comes all the way through all of us, all the human beings. God tried to save us from this in the Garden of Eden. But since we didn't do what was right, now we have to come through. But it's not hard. God ain't make it hard for nobody. It's so easy, just like he said. A kid can follow. But you have to start that kid very young. You got kids 2 years old getting mad with the parents and don't even know the word mad. One thing they did wrong, when I was a kid, we didn't have nobody killing their parents or nothing there. But my mama beat my butt. Now if you even try to chastise your kid and try to raise your kid right, you go to jail. But the sad thing about that, then they raise your kid. All these people in prison, all these different drugs they got on their kids, hypertension and all. I beat them kids' butt. God said it. Spare the rod, you spoil the child. See how this thing keeps waving me here and waving me here? It's a lot that I know that I need to get out, that live within me, not nobody else. It stays within me. But that thing fight me just as hard as it fight y'all. I'm not perfect. I got a lot of stuff that happened a long time ago. And I'm struggling to keep my head above water. Struggling. That thing don't never stop. It kind of remind me of Job. Job's shoulders too. Job was just like Jesus. I don't mean the sense carried the same weight of the world like Jesus carried on his back. I mean in the sense how Job showed how you gonna be tested and how to battle and how you gonna have to fight until the day you die. A lot of people so afraid of death, it's a shame. But if you ever turn loose the world, you're not afraid no more. Because you know you're going to have something 10 times greater. That's why sometimes I can't understand. I might swear a little bit again now. That's why sometimes I can't understand some of these rich people. Oh, I like that woman over there. I like that woman over in Europe. Okay, I jump in my jet and I go get them. Yo, I want 4 or 5 of them tonight. I go get them. Okay, that's one of the greatest feelings that a man can feel. Okay, I want me a big boat. Sail around the world. Okay, I buy me a boat. I done that. Okay, I got my own plane. Go get all the women I want. Oh, what about these countries? I buy in the house. Got the biggest house I want. So what? I said to myself, what other emotions that this world has to offer the man with the money? What other thing that they can thrive for, to try to get from this world? Then I take my time and I look. I said, he haven't stored up not one treasure out of this world. Okay, I said treasure out of this world. Let me tell you some of my treasure. Okay, when I die, I don't have this body no more. I don't have old age. I don't grow old no more. I don't go to the bathroom no more. I don't breathe no more. I'm a spirit. I just be anything I want to be. I'm in the image of God. Can the world offer you that? Just tell me, can the world offer you that? You have to store up some of your treasures to turn loose the world. In heaven. Now, I'm not no Bible guy, no this and no that. This stuff come to me. And then sometimes my mama was a preacher now, but I wasn't never around. I spent most of my time in the military, 6 years, and away from home, being the devil, working with the devil. What more can the world give him to make him sacrifice his eternity? Ain't no feeling on this face of this earth worth your eternity. I don't care what it is. I don't care. Go through it like how Job showed it. Your kids. your sons, your daughters, your material things, your house, your furniture, everything, then your wife, and then your friends. You have to sacrifice every little bit of that stuff to turn loose the world and put God first. Now, I'm mostly talking about how I was raised. I was raised off and on, believing in Christianity. That's all I'm talking about. I don't know nothing about Buddhism. I don't know nothing about Muslims. I don't know nothing about no other form of religion. Maybe their religion may have the same thing, because I do believe God come to people in many different ways. And he sure came to me in a strange way. So this is why I said, the way I am might not apply to somebody else. In the way these persons might seek God, they might have to seek God another way. But I'm just telling you how I didn't understand how to seek God. And I started seeking this way, trying to feel all the emotions that God put out there for you to feel, even with all those things in the Bible. And that's all I'm trying to make people see. Now later on, after getting in touch with your heart, I learned how to pull emotions up. Yeah. I learned how to go in my heart and pull an emotion up. Pull it up. And I also have learned how to, I don't know where this hearing come. I got a sharp hearing, but I hear him talk about it on TV. I learned how to take that sharp hearing and put it on the emotion and vibrate it and let the sound vibrate certain parts of my body. But I think all that there is there for us. I think there's something in the sound, something in the taste, something in the feel, that all those 5 senses, all of them, they plays a role with us. This thing ain't easy because the devil already got us. But you have to seek. So when you seek it and it comes to you without anything, you know you're dealing with God. Now the devil will try, but you can see when he come trickery and bad, you just turn it loose. And most time he is going to come from the outside in. God going to come from the inside out. People, to be honest, I feel sorry. Because I love everybody. I couldn't be talking like this. I ain't got a hateful bone in me. I love everybody. That's something I couldn't say when I was in the Air Force. I love everybody. That's the only way. You have to excuse me for the way I've been wishy-washy here and wishy-washy there. But I'm trying to get out as much of it as I can. It sticks with me. It's inside of me. But I look back how I was. And I look back, because back then, I used to look at religion like it was a form of control. Now I see how I mistreated my wife, children, everything. I did everything wrong. But now I look back, the emotion that's within me now about life itself. That's the only reason you hear me try to stress on feel these things. That don't sit there and talk about them. That's the only reason I'm talking about seeking it. Because when you feel it, that comes from the depth of your heart. And you can feel it just as easy as it is for you to go out there and look at somebody and lust and feel that feeling. You can feel it just as easy. But you have to empty that mess out you. And when you feel it, It makes the confirmation. Because just to sure you can feel that feeling that Jesus gave his life for you. And he said up there, if it's your will, Father, let it be. And then you feel that feeling why God gave his only son and sacrificed it for you. You ain't going to want to go back to the world. Just the feelings come over you. Just the feeling. You cannot. You just don't want none of the rest of it. And especially your eternity, where you're going to live forever. And that soul sitting down in there, it do not age. This body do. Everything else about you do. But that soul sitting down there, one boom, just flowing. That's why everything connected. And this distance that you think, that's so far over the planet, 1,000,000 miles over, you could be there in the blink of an eye. This how God is. Let me get over the thing here now, because it gives me where I want to. I guess they always talk about a man show a sign of weakness if he get emotional about different things. Well, I'm weak as a lamb because I love God. And God tell you, he said, come to me as a child. And anytime you're trying to chastise your son or chastise your kid and trying to keep him on the right road, you're going to see the tears. And it's going to be up to you to make sure you bring them up through there right. And can't nobody do that but the parents who love him. The people should know if somebody beat their kids and try to make them come up through there right, they love their kid. They don't make me think they don't care. It's just always a matter of time for the police have to do it. That's why we were crying with the prison, and that's why you take your time and you can look at every individual that's in that prison. If they had to go over there, I swear I wouldn't have done that again. Just because one emotion. That's the whole reason the devil got up there and offered, come on Jesus, I give you all of it. Let me call my lovely wife. Let me let y'all see my wife. Dina! Dina!
Yeah,
she might be ashamed. Come on, can you sit down right here right quick so they can see? Oh, she shaved, that's all right. I'll let you, next time I come, I'll let y'all see her. Okay, Dina. See, I don't know nothing about this here. I just try to get the message and been on me 3 weeks like God. Just saying, you can't tell nobody to see. You can't tell nobody to see. So now I got a chance to say it. Now I'm hoping he ain't mad at me because I hate to have God mad at me. I hate it with a passion. Anything that can happen to me. But I do not want God never mad at me. And if I said anything that if you don't like, please, I'm sorry. And that's how I am about God too. I asked God, I said, God, before I do this, would you tell me? Here it comes. And everything I tell you come right from my heart. I talk from my live from my heart now. But I was a devil. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.